I'm Saion Gupta, founder at 10x for the Kids, and today I'm gonna show you the coolest features that were added to ES13, that is ES 2022. That was just released on June 2022, right? So it was really ES13 was released on June 22. So let's start with this. Okay, so first of all, we have class fields, right? And now there are a lot of cool things happening. First of all, we have public and private instance fields. So what is happening over here? You are able to define private properties in your class. For example, I have a song class, I have a title class that is a normal property, but I'm creating an artist class that is basically artist property that is basically private, because I have given a hash in front of the property name. So whenever you give a hash in front of the property name, then you make a private property. Pretty cool and understandable. Whenever you want to change the value of this or assign it to something else, you have to do this dot hash artist. So you always have to give hashtag artist, right? So now when you are creating an object of your song class, you pass it only a song and Van Morrison, that is the artist. So you pass it the title and the artist. So you're logging the title, that will give you only a song, but because the artist property was basically private, so that's why when you're trying to access it, you'll outside of the class, you'll get undefined, as it was private and it was only accessible inside the class. So when I run this, I'm getting two things. First is the title, and second is that artist is undefined. Notice that the constructor must access this dot hash artist with the hash prefix again. Otherwise, it would override the field with a public member. So what do we mean by this? In this, if I, for example, I do this, I create a private property, but then I do this dot artist, meaning I'm accessing artist without giving in a hash, though it is a private property, it will convert it to a public property of that class. That means now it can be accessible outside of the class like any other normal property. For example, like title, it can be accessed out of the class. So when I've created an object song1, right, and I pass it only a song and Van Morrison, then when I access the title, I get only a song. But when I access the artist, though we have defined it private, when we were changing its value, we didn't do this dot hash artist. That's why it logged out the value of artist, because it was no longer private now, right? So very cool stuff. So if I run this, I'll get only a song and then Van Morrison, the artist. So only a song and then Van Morrison. Very cool stuff. Right. So next we will come to private instance methods and accessors. So what is this? We can create private methods also. So for example, I have a private property artist. I have the get artist method, right? The getter. But when I give this, when I define the set artist method, that is the setter, I'm basically making this a private method. That means this method can only be invoked inside this class. For example, I'll take this line from here. Right, so I'll take this line from here, and then I basically do song1 dot set artist, right? Artist is equals to someone, right? I'll show you what is happening now. It is giving Okay, so it did not give us anything. So if I console.log song1 dot get artist, then look what will happen. I get an error. Get artist is not a function. Get artist song1 dot get artist. Oh, we have to use it like property. Sorry. We get Van Morrison. Though we tried to change it to someone, but it did not change. I don't know why it didn't throw an error. It may be because of this replet, but it did not change it to someone, right? This shows that this setter was private and is only accessible inside the class. Basically what it did, it created a set artist property, I think, right? So I think it created a set artist property for our object. So if I access set artist now, I think it created a property for our object now. So we get someone, right? So it created a new property set artist for our object of the song class, right? And finally, we can have static members, meaning we can have members that can be directly accessed by the class. For example, static label equals exile. So we can't access label by the object of our song class. We have to access it using the song class itself. For example, console.log song.label. Then we will get exile. We can't access it with an object of a song class. We have to access it with the song class itself, right? You're getting my point. Field checks for private fields. So what is this now? So for example, I have this. I have created a private property artist, right? And then I'm in this. I'm returning now. So first of all, okay. So in this, what I'm doing, I'm returning artist in this. So what is it checking? It is checking if it finds artist #artist in this class, then return true. Else, if you are not able to find #artist in this class, then return false. So then we have foo in which we are creating an object of a song class, and then if I console.log check field, it will give us true because it is able to find the private property artist in this song class. So it returns us true. We get true. Very, very, very cool. The next thing is negative indexing. So you all know negative indexing did not exist and we had to do array.length minus whatever we wanted, whatever element we want. We only had negative indexing in Python. So I've done, so we have seen negative indexing in Python. But in this now, in ES13, the negative indexing is introduced with the at method. So we have this foo array and then we do foo.at -3. So basically this is negative index. So now this will start from, this is -1, -2 and then -3. So -3 will give us 3. So when we console.log this, console.log, then we will get -3. So if I run this, we'll get -3. Okay, so we'll get -3. Right. So sorry, we'll get 3, the value of -3, right? So we'll get 3, the value of -3. Next we have, and the final topic, class static block. So essentially you can use the static keyword on a block of code that is run when the class is loaded and it will have access to the static members. So what happens when you give a block static? Now this has access to only the static members of the class, and whenever the class foo will be loaded, then the static block will get executed, right? So in this there's nothing to run, and these were the four important topics that you needed to understand in ES13. These new features are very cool. Please use them in your programs. Like, subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one.